What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing a Dishsoap VOD review. At the time this game was played, he was sitting in D4, so, Dishsoap overall has had a pretty solid climb early on in the set. Not sitting like rank 1, but, I mean, still quite high up there. Obviously, D4 this early on into the set is pretty good. So, I wanted to watch some Dishsoap play. I mean, he's just one of those players who it feels like you almost always have to watch, and I always just want to know what he's doing. And he played a comp that I really want to talk about because it's this comp that kind of exploded overnight. This is a comp that really was on nobody's radar, and then once the B patch hit, it became a lot more viable. So start off here with an early Garen 2. Had the opportunity to pick up a Rel pair there, but the downside is we would have had to sell the Vi, and I know Dishsoap really likes his Crystal Gambit. I mean, you can just play this. It's nerfed, but it's actually rebuffed with, and there's some crazy stuff with Crystal Gambit. Maybe I can do a Crystal Gambit VOD review tomorrow. Actually, that's not what we're doing today. But perhaps we can do that at some point. But yeah, we look at first augment here. We have I'll Be the Legs, which is it's a fun one. It gives you it gives you 3 mighty mech units, makes your mech a little bit tankier, and the big thing is you can go for the prismatic. If you hit I'll Be the Legs, I'll be the body, I'll be the head. I think that's the 3. I haven't actually seen it in game yet, but theoretically it exists out there. I saw a screenshot on Twitter of it. So as far as like early game board, we don't really have too much. Yeah, we have 0 mech units, but it does give you 3 mech units, so that's the upside on that. Cluttered Mind and Pumping Up, both like okay augments. Honestly, I haven't seen a really good pumping up game yet. I'll be honest, if anyone has like a link to a good pumping up game this set, I would love to watch and just see what people are playing it into. Because honestly, I can't really think, like a lot of the AD lines don't really care that much for attack speed. Stuff like, Soul Fighter and like Star Guardian, like I guess they use attack speed fine, but not as good as something like, Marksman in the past, a trait that just gives you AD. And then Cluttered Mind, I just don't like this augment that much. It's okay. I would think, if we were thinking of playing some kind of 4-cost line, you could be interested in that. I mean, a Thornbladed Armor, honestly, you could be quite excited about, but we pick up the I'll Be the Legs to start off with, which is kind of interesting. We actually, okay, that was interesting. So he powered up, very weird, interesting. He powered up Syndra, checked it, saw Heart of Gold, which is a really good one, but then he was like, well, I took I'll Be the Legs, so I don't really want to play the Syndra, so then he powers up Ezreal to tailor for Lucian. As far as what he's tailoring for, I believe the one where he like shoots more bullets. Ezreal can't have that because he just has 1 shot. We get some kind of meh ones. I usually take this one and think it's like okay. I mean, it's never this one, so it's between these two, and yeah, he does take that. He actually does, completely remove it, and then yeah, we do pick up the Bullet Hell, which is what we were tailoring for, and we make the Shojin Slam here. So we've started off with I'll Be the Legs, and we have, a Lucian that we're item carrying. What are we going to play this game? I would think that we would play into Vertical Mech, makes sense. A mech augment, buff up the mechs. But I mean, to be fair, I kind of have future sight. I know what line we're going to be playing this game, and it's not actually Vertical Mech, which is interesting. This, I will say, it's just Vertical Mech is quite awkward to play. You need to hit the 5 cost to actually reach 7 mech. So it's not really something that you can like set out from 2-1 and say, I'm going to play this. If you do have a really good spot and you know that you can make it to 7 mech, I mean, it's performed fine. There was that game in Project PBE where Tidal played 7 mech as kind of a transition board to get from 7 mech into the Mentor Mech board, which is the other interesting piece of this, is that, prior to B-Patch, if this was your opener, you would almost be guaranteed to be Mentor mech in this spot because you have an AP item slam that's going to go into Rise later. You have, these mech units who are going to go into your board later. Stuff like GP and Atrox are going to sit on your board when you're playing it. And so you would always play that setup. But after the changes in the B-Patch, Rise got hit pretty hard. And there is another unit, probably, okay, she's in the thumbnail. Karma got buffed very solidly in the B-Patch. And all of a sudden people realize, like, wait a minute, I can actually carry this Karma unit and it's not bad. As far as itemization goes, JG Guardbreaker is Bis. It's kind of hilarious because JG Guardbreaker is like Bis Karma. I mean, we have a rod there. Yep, huge for us. JG Guardbreaker, it's Bis Karma, it's Bis Yumi, stuff like Guardbreaker IE is Bis on like all the other 80 carries. Like, if you could if there was like something that you could do that would like, okay, this is a terrible idea, But do you guys remember Legends? I talk about Legends way too much. But do you guys remember Legends from set 9? What if there was a legend that you had that said every game you like spawn in with a guard breaker? That would be just the most broken legend of all time. Just because this item is so like every. You can put it on all your duelists. You know, you can put it on your Samira. You can put it on your Jinx. You can put it on your AP carries if you have a JG. Like every single unit in the game wants a guard breaker. You can put on your Akali and your Ryze and units like that who get the spell crit just because of the way that they are, because of their traits. So this item is just broken, and units like Yuumi, units like Karma really abuse it in the fact that they have a bunch of small instances of damage, so they're very quickly proccing the full guard breaker effect. You will also see, are we gonna, oh my god, this Lucian unit is kind of insane, man. That is a Lucian 1. He just soloed that guy's board. I mean, to be fair, the mech board is also quite good as well, but that is crazy that we clear. Oh, this Lucian unit is kind of good, and you can just see already kind of the power of the line here. Just playing an early mech opener into what will be a Karma carry later. Spoiler alert. But we'll see how we get there. And, oh, okay, Dishsoap. All right, enough said. He naturals the guard breaker, which, I mean, this is good because it will show you a game with optimal items, but okay, you guys can say it. The high roll alarm went off. Ping 1 high roller. GG's. It's all over. But okay, we have a pretty good spot here. 3 streak. We are trying to play a sort of like level 8 board, and this person that we're fighting might also be trying to play a similar board because they have Lucian start with AP items. So you know, that is something that we have to worry about. I will say, man, Bullet Hell, I think it's called, is doing insane work on this Lucian. Little Buddy is in this comp, so we will kind of reveal the final comp later, but my intuition is that this is insane in this comp. The problem is it's nothing right now, and we are actually win streaking right now. It is gold augment, so we could theoretically hit the next one, but yeah, I'm curious, what is he doing? He's like trying to take units out to tailor his board. Interesting. Oh, well, Gold Destiny is just, I mean, it's, come on. I mean, yeah, you have to take it here. Ooh, okay, so we get Gold Destiny into Shimmer. Interesting. Okay, lowest of keys. You ever just grab Mogul's Mail so that you have a tank item? Like, okay, we're gonna Gold Collector here. Because like Gold Collector is the kind of nice thing. You have spell crit already, but like what are we gonna do with it? Oh, it's just gonna throw it into the GP. Okay, yeah, I could see it. And then this will have a home later on one of the units that we'll talk about. Okay, actually, yeah, this makes sense. And the thing about Mogul's Mail is that this comp does kind of lack a pure tank. Once again, spoiler alert, but we are going to be playing towards a Jarvan later, as you know, any mech board will do. And so it's, wow. The roll on 6 here. This is so smart from Dishsoap. So why did we just roll here? We're playing a fast 8 comp. Why would you roll on 6? I mean, it's actually like pretty obvious if you look at our spot here. I mean, look at this spot prior to rolling. We hit the Senatu, and like this is where we roll, right? I mean, look at this spot. GP paired, Atrox pair, Lucian pair, Neferi pair, and we also have one of the Mighty Mechs that we could theoretically hit here. It's such a smart roll here. And we're on a 5 streak is the other big thing. So we roll once and we hit one of our many outs, and all of a sudden we are so much stronger. That's a really nice roll from Dishsoap. I think there are a lot of people out there who, you know, say, oh, we're playing like a 5-cost comp. You know, you can't, or you know, for, you know, a fast 8 style comp, you're like, you can't roll on 6. But this is what really good TFT players do, is they will roll on intervals like this just to, you know, keep their win streak up, keep their board stronger. I will say this fight looks a little close. It is going to be sad if we roll and lose, but I still will say this was definitely correct from Dishsoap, because it could have been the diff easily. Honestly, had we hit Lucian too, we probably would have won there. But I don't think you can really roll more after hitting Jarvan. So we have Bow open here. I mean, I wouldn't be against just making a red buff here, or you have Static Shiv as well, or what's it called now, Void Staff. So you can pick that up. Yeah, seems solid. There's the Lucian, just one turn too late. A little bit sad, but okay, I'm gonna end up picking it up. Can level here for the Ahri, get some. I was about to call it Arcanist. Which set was Arcanist? I mean, like, it's the same trade every set. We get the Sork in from Ahri here. Do make the Void Staff here, which we are going to be a predominantly, I mean, pretty much entirely magic damage board. So that is going to be quite good. And it's interesting, our board almost seems like it's falling off a little bit, though. We're rotating into decently strong boards, I guess. But at the end of the day, like, losing a few fights, not the end of the world. We get our next power up here, which I guess is going to go on Senna for now, and he's going to tailor it with Ziggs. This is something that I need to get better at, is just like, what was he actually tailoring for there? And I'm not really sure. I mean, maybe he knows. With units like this, like Senna, like what power up am I even looking for on Senna? I mean, this looks good. You actually get double collectors, which is kind of cool. Though most of the time they're going to be hitting the same target, so it's not like you're double executing stuff. But if they end up hitting different targets, that I don't know gives you something. But it's did he actually use the Ziggs to tailor for something like this? I don't know. Pick up Rise here, who is now going to come in on the board. And, are we gonna, I'd love for him to team planner the board out because it would allow us to kind of yap about the comp that we're likely to play into here. But we will see. We get a pan. Interesting. Okay, we'll see where this goes. There's a lot of stuff that you could do with this pan here and some kind of obvious slams here. All right, we're going to... Oh, wow. Reforge. Yuck. And we do hit the Suspicious Trenchcoat, which I guess is going to have to go into GP for now. Okay. I mean, theoretically, Edge of Night Suspicious Trenchcoat is a very good combo. I don't know the home for this like later, but we'll see. We do pick up, also, yeah, he has 2 out of 1 mentor in. Oh, that's so sad. We do make Sork Emblem, and that kind of gives an idea of like, okay, what are we actually playing toward this game? We are going to play towards Vertical Sorcerer, and honestly, I mean, it's 4-2. Let's see Augment pick and then just let him roll down here. Doubt it's climb the ladder. Tesla Coil seems like meh here, but if he takes it, maybe I'm underrating it. Last second save, okay. He does take last second save, okay. Does that work on the... If it works on the... It says ally, it doesn't say champion. If that works on the mech, this is really nice. Okay, but let's go level 8 here and roll down for the board here. He doesn't actually have anything in Team Planner. He's braver than I am. Does pick up a Lucian here, which will be nice if we want to move items over later. Continue to roll down here. We do pick up an Ari2 here, so that's our 4 Sork. Pick up another Rise. Pick up Swain 2, which is really good. So we do actually have 6 Sork on bench if we want it. And that's what we're gonna play for, ideally, this game. Is the 6 Sorcerer. This board right now is actually quite nice, though, until we do reach Karma, where we just have 5 Mighty Mech, 4 Sork. Yeah, this actually fits beautifully onto the board here. But yeah, we're going to continue to roll down, try to pick up some Karmas. We do see some out, but yes, with the buffs of Karma and just the changes that have occurred in this patch, it is just so viable, so strong to play into Vertical Sorcerer, just because of the power of Karma as a carry. Killer Instinct, yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty solid. Just get some mana regen. Well, mana regen's not that good onto Rise, but making him like snipe units is kind of cool. Though, I mean, he's a very front to back unit, so I don't think it does all that much for him. But yeah, I mean, it's just a very dominant, very easy to play Vertical. You just put, normally it's 6 Sork on your board, and then you're cutting out some of these other mech units like GP and Senna here. We might actually end up in a world where we sit in 5 mech for a little while longer than you normally would, because we do have the +1 from the Sork. I mean, the second we find Karma, we have a mech and a Sork in here. So I guess in ideal world, we would level up, go 9, and then we could fit everything. But we'll see here. And I mean, we do... Wait, we don't have Karma still, right? So we do finally pick up Karma. We have 7 mech if we want it. He is going to play the 6 Sork. Okay, so this is the idea. And then the question is, what is the last in here? Because you don't really have one. And yeah, we end up playing double Lucian, which can't really be it, but I guess we'll figure it out. Because yeah, this board, as you can see, like if we didn't have the Sork +1, it fits beautifully on level 8. You just play 6 Sork, you play Rise, you play Jarvan, and that's your board. You get a bunch of really cool traits in, you get mech in, you get strategist in. But because this +1, it's kind of awkward. We could fit a random, I mean, it's Janna, right? Ideally, who is a protector and another strategist on this board. I feel like so often, if I'm trying to figure out like what random unit do I fit on a board like this, it is Janna. And so that is the dream for what we would fit here. We're also 7 Lucians. Dish is keeping up the possibility of hitting a Lucian 3 in his dreams here. It's kind of genius to say, you know what? I mean, if I find Lucian 3 before I find Karma 2, which at this point, I mean, we're rolling so slow, we're not hitting very hard on the Karmas, like it could actually happen. Then why not go for it? Also, I didn't even realize, but when we made that big pivot, we did move the Trenchcoat Edge of Night to the Jarvan. I mean, it makes sense, actually, in a very weird way, where he's just going to split, hopefully drop aggro with the Trenchcoat, and, you know, that's going to be enough to get more casts off. I'd love to get, like, a Protector's Vow on him or something, just to get him casting. There's Gwen, who's a big hit on level 8. He actually put her in this slot, and ooh, this is kind of a cool variation of it. So this is going to be what he ends up playing here. Going to make Morello, because we don't have any heal cut right now. now. And yeah, going to move. Oh, wow. Power up over to, I didn't even see. This dish guy's going too fast. I didn't even see which power up we put here. Hemorrhage. I mean, Hemorrhage is one of her best power ups, honestly, just because she is all about getting that damage down. And this is going to be our setup, the triple Gwen with Trench Coat. I don't know if I completely believe in it. Gwen's a unit where you really want to get to the final cast where she hits the whole board, and you're not really going to get that with this setup. But okay, we do pick up Karma. Oh, I'm actually really curious to see. Soul Chipper is really good with, and he's actually going to move power up down here. Wait, what is Ice Bender? I haven't even seen this. First of all, let's talk about Karma. Soul Chipper is really good. Once again, she does all of those like small instances of damage. So she's shredding MR that entire time. I've heard Soul Chipper is really broken with Blighting Jewel. That is like a really nice combination that you can play for. If you guys get the spot where you get a Blighting Jewel, throw that onto Karma, and put Soul Chipper on her, and she's going to shred people's MR to 0 so fast. But he does take it in the spot as well. I mean, I think it's still quite good just because she does have all those instances of damage. Now, what is Icebender? I've never taken this. Rise is frozen for the first 2 seconds of combat. His ability 20% chills enemy for 4 seconds and deals 20% bonus damage to enemies adjacent to the target. It doesn't sound that good, I'm gonna be real. I think it would just take like Keen Eye or something. Yeah, it honestly doesn't sound great. You stun your unit for 3 seconds just so that he chills the front line, because he's a front to back unit, man. Like, who cares about chilling the front line? It doesn't do anything. And then I guess the extra damage is nice if they have adjacent units. Yeah, that sounds a little bit awful. But it is interesting that it makes sense, right? Rise 2 over Gwen 1, especially in a circumstance where Rise is a sorcerer, you know? Maybe Dish would, rather itemize the Gwen here. I think it makes a lot of sense to itemize the Gwen 1 if we don't have Sork Emblem onto the Rise, because we're playing for a 6 Sork, the Gwen 1 unit, honestly, with 6 Sorkin does a lot of work, so you can play for that. But with the Sork +1 here, I mean, why not just itemize the Rise? Also, we do get Viego'd here. Yeah, this is actually a variation of that comp because they had Karma on their board, which is not normally what you'd play. But wait, why did I say Viego? K Sante. He's like they're both like letter and then something, Viego, K Sante. Maybe that's what tripped me up. Take Protector Emblem off Carousel here. Oh yeah, what does the Protector Emblem actually do? When the shield breaks, it like does damage or something? Heal the holder and the nearest ally for 20% of the shields. Oh, wow. Okay. That's not bad, actually, at all. Throw this on to J4 here. You know what I just realized is we took Protector Emblem, but we sold Kennen. We aren't putting Protector in, which is a little bit awkward, I guess. But okay, I mean, at least we're getting the Protector Emblem value, like a little bit of heal onto our units. Okay. Well, actually, let me go back and read this actually, and then we can speed right back through this fight. It says the shield, right? But like the way that stuff's went, oh no, it's a shield. So it's any shield. Oh, that's pretty sick actually. Okay, that's cool. And then we can speed back through this fight. But you can see this board. I mean, it almost reminds me of the Cassante board. Not because they're boards that operate in any way similarly, like they don't operate similarly at all, but it's one of these boards where if you just hit a Karma 2 with these items, like sometimes she will just full clear the entire enemy board. She is just such a monstrous carry with 6 Sorcerer as well, especially hitting the Gwen is the big thing. And you also have Soul Fighter in on this board because Lux is a Soul Fighter, so it kind of, the traits work out really nicely. Close fight here, but we do end up losing to Simplem, and we lock in a top 4. Very nice. So we have kind of a weird spot, but we ended up playing into a top 4. I mean, I love the idea of I'll be the legs. You take a mech augment and then just say, you know what? It's gonna be too awkward for me to hit 7 mech, and I'm hitting stuff towards my Sork board. I'm just gonna play Sorks. I think it makes a lot of sense and is a cool way to think about it. All right, on the way to level 9 here. We do have Nico that we could level 4 if we had 1 more gold, which is really tragic, but okay. He is actually, wow. Looking at Mage here, okay, I'm down. So he does decide to get rid of the Soul Chipper there and just play for Mage here. He thinks that's better. Okay, that is good. I'm gonna write that down in my pocket. I mean, to be fair, against, say, a board like Katarina, like this Katarina doesn't have a bunch of MR, so it is nice. We do take a bad loss to Katarina though. And okay, solid top 4 from Dishsoap. This is a quick game, 6-2. That guy is 82 HP and he clears. But yeah, showing off a very solid meta comp. I mean, this lobby is a little bit crazy, but Dish got to the board, played a solid game. And yeah, I mean, top 4, tournament 5 top 4s is how you climb in TFT. And yeah, so go try this comp out. Let me know how your games go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch and Medify. All my links down below. See you guys in the next video. Thanks.